What is up, faithful? It is your boy, Niner Sickness with the Niner Sickness podcast. Everyone, welcome. Welcome to the podcast tonight. I have an incredible guest. A lot of you guys are already familiar with him. A lot of you guys follow his channel. But if you guys don't know who this guest is, this guy loves his 49ers. He knows his Niners. And an awesome friend of mine that I've met since I started doing this social media thing. I cannot wait to introduce him to you if you don't know him already. But before I get started, let's say hi to Luis Moreno. Welcome, Luis. Cardcast, welcome. We got Bond in the house. Welcome, sir. We got David Williams in the house. Welcome. Roberto's in the house. Welcome. Shane is in the house. Welcome. Tony in the house. How you doing, Tony? We got Glenn in the house. How's everyone doing? I'm excited to introduce my next guest. I know you guys did not particularly come to watch me today, but you're here to watch my guest. So with no further ado, let me bring in my Mr. J IntheBay. How you doing, J IntheBay?
I'm doing good, Niner Beto, and I have to say, faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, J IntheBay. And it's a pleasure to be on with you tonight, Niner Sickness. It's always great to be on with the faithful to talk about the Niners. And after that intro, that production you have, man, I just got to, man, well done, man. Well done. You are a beast with that production, man. And it raises my level, man. I'm even more hyped to be on your show tonight. Huge shout out to everyone that's in the chat tonight, man. Let's talk some Niners football, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the love, brother. I enjoy doing messing around with stuff like that, editing, graphing. So I appreciate the love, brother. So here we are, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone. Today we're going to talk 49er football. We have a few topics that we're going to talk about. But I wanted to, before I started to conversate about this topic, I have about a 15-minute video that I want to show. I put together all the players that we drafted real quick. And I also added, I can't pronounce his name, first name, Donovan West, and Jason Poe, which they weren't drafted. They were free agents, but I thought the Niners would have drafted them. So the fact that they got them is awesome. More people are popping in real quick. Let me say hi to Jason Rodriguez is in the house. How you doing, Jason? We got Javier Rios is in the house. How you doing, Javier? All right, so let me go ahead and do this quick video, guys, and we'll enjoy it, and then we'll get into our show tonight. That's number 99, baby.
Great Jack.
Check this guy. Look at him. Look at him go. Right through the middle. Boom, he's gone. I'm excited for him, man.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Fire it up. Let's go. Look at him. Let's go.
Untouched to the house, man.
Look at him.
Looking good.
He's a beast. We got Danny Gray, baby. I like this kid.
Beast.
Everyone, welcome. Michael, welcome. Blue True, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? I like this kid, man. I think this kid's gonna do great for us.
We finally got a deep threat, Beto. We finally got a deep threat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like this kid. I'm just trying to get everybody fired up in here.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Every single one out of everyone.
Look at him. The big ball right here.
That's what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted us to improve the offensive line, especially the interior offensive line, and I think the Niners did that in the draft and with the UDFAs.
That's right. They all wanted us to get somebody in. I think he's going to play guard. I know he's a tackle, but he'll come in and play guard for us, right?
Right. And I think both of the guys that were drafted, I think both of them are interchangeable. Like, they can play inside or outside. And I think Aaron Banks is on notice, man. He's not going to be given that left guard job, that's for sure. He's going to have to compete and win it out.
He's going to have to work for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the best way, though. That's the best way to earn your spot, man. Best way.
You gotta earn it, man. Nothing's given. Just because these guys are drafted or undrafted free agents doesn't mean you have to earn. Okay, I like this corner. I like Fields a little bit better, but this guy's pretty good. James says, "Hype, let's go." This season's gonna be fun. Everything gets, if all the pieces get together and Trey Lance can do what we think Trey Lance is gonna do, man, this is gonna be a fun offense and defense to watch. And Absolutely. Our special teams got really, really good as well.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of competition. I think definitely in the secondary and offensive line. You can say defensive line as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Training camp can't come any sooner, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. And the fact that Debo is still here and he's following the Niners again.
Yeah.
That makes
I know. That was the big breaking news, right?
Yep. That makes Lily World, how are you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Look at him go. Let's go. Look at him go. This is what I'm talking about.
And
Adam Peters.
I think Samuel Womack, I think he ran like a 4.3 in the 40, I believe.
Yep.
So he's fast. I mean, that's what you want at the cornerback position.
Absolutely. Look at him hit. Where are you going? I wonder if he can use. I wonder if he can wear 0 with the Niners. No, huh?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Why? I don't see why not. I don't think it's retired, right?
Yeah, I don't. I've never seen anybody wear 0.
Wear 0 in the Niners uniform. Yeah, I can't recall that. Yeah. I know they do that in basketball, but yeah, I'm not sure about in the NFL.
Thank you, Cardcast. This guy, I like this guy at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
He was very, he comes from a small school and went against some big defenders, and he held his own, man.
Yeah.
He held his own against some big defenders. Brock Purdy, yeah, I like Brock. I think he'll be a good scout quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
So when we play Kyler Murray and we play all these mobile quarterbacks, I think he'll come useful in practice.
Absolutely. I think that signals. I think Jimmy G is all but gone.
Oh yeah.
There's no way the Niners are going to keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster.
No. They're just waiting for him to clear his physical. They're going to try to see if somebody needs him by that time. If not, they'll just end up cutting him. But we'll see. Even if we get draft picks for next year, I don't care what we get, bro. 6, 7. Just get him off the books.
Right.
But this kid right here, man, I really like. We needed offensive linemen. People, when we first drafted, people were like, they're not addressing the offensive line. Well, they did. They definitely, and they got 2 big maulers in there that don't mess around. So these 2 guys are very, very impressive.
Absolutely. And I think we'll be fine if Alex Mack retires. I think we'll be fine because we definitely have a few players that can fill in. But hopefully Mack comes back, but I would be surprised if he does at this point.
Now, this kid I'm interested in. This guy, I heard that he has a lot of features of a DJ Jones.
Right.
He's coming
DJ
off
Jones
an injury,
2.0.
so he probably won't start. But I heard this guy is a get-go. He gets it right off the line of scrimmage quick.
Yeah.
He's fast, powerful. Jason says, I believe Jimmy G will be traded early or mid-season. Yeah, I think they're just waiting, honestly, for him to clear that physical so they don't have to pay him that, 7-something million?
I believe now, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe now, as of May 5th, the Niners can cut him and they don't owe him the 7.5 anymore. There was a report about that came out. Not sure if it's 100% accurate, but that's what I heard. So they can cut him without paying that 7.5 million. But hey, we'll see. But I don't think there's no way. I don't think that Jimmy G will be on this roster come week 1 because then they'll have to pay Jimmy part of that 26 mil that they owe him for this year. So I don't think there's any way. I think they'll cut him, 24 hours prior to. You gotta cut down the active roster to 53 players. I just don't think they're gonna pay him, unless something horrible happens, and I'm not even gonna say it. But there's no way. I don't think there's no way Jimmy G will be on this roster come week 1.
Do you think Alex Mack comes back, bro?
I don't think so. I mean, he's forfeiting right now a $100,000 workout bonus. I mean, I know he's made a lot of money, but just to not show up when you could have gotten an extra 100,000. I mean, I know he's made millions, but that's still 100,000. It ain't like it's $2 or whatever. It's still 100,000. I would be surprised if he came back. I did hear another content creator say, hey, he just got married. They're starting a new family together. Who would want to go to mini camp after that, right? Like you want to stay home with your wife and. Totally respect that, but I would be surprised if he came back.
Really? I know 100 million was 100,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
To miss out on, but when you have millions and you're trying to take care of your body and you're trying not to put your body out there, I don't know. It's not too. It's 100,000 for him is probably like $100 for us.
Right. So that makes sense.
Yeah. He's like, it is a lot of money, but he's like, I'd rather get my body rested and.
Right.
And, because he knows he can do what he can do. But hopefully he'll come back because if he doesn't, I would love to see Donovan West learn and develop underneath him for a year. Right. So next year when he retires, hopefully West could be one that takes over that spot. I was surprised that he did not get drafted, honestly. I expected him.
Me too. He was projected to go 3rd or 4th round. So yeah, I was surprised.
And there's no knock on him. It's just a lot of centers they were not like a lot of centers, teams that were looking for centers. So it wasn't like there was a knock on West where he dropped out because, this or that. It's just he just fell down the line and then he decided to go. There he is right there.
Yep.
What's up, Dick Tracy? Welcome. David McNeil, welcome to the channel.
It definitely would be ideal for Donovan West or the next in line, the next projected center starter to learn under Alex Mack. There's no doubt it would benefit them a lot, greatly. But I'm hoping he comes back, but I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't at this point. And if he knew he was coming back, why not just tell the Niners? Why not just say, hey, I'm coming back, but I just want to take some time off to rest my body coming into his 14th or 15th season. So,
Now, let me ask you, the fact that the Niners did not address that position early, could it be that he already told the Niners he's coming back, where it's just not up to date, but the Niners already know he's coming back, so they're not too concerned?
Right.
Otherwise, I think you would think they would draft, because none of these two offensive linemen they drafted play center, right?
That they drafted, no. Yeah, the two guys that they drafted, they played either guard or tackle in college. They did not play center. But the 49ers, they do have Daniel Brunskill, the Swiss Army knife. He could play any position along the offensive line. I think if the 49ers had to, they would put Brunskill there at center, and you also have Jake Brendel behind him. But that could be a reason why we did not address the center position in the draft at all. That could be a reason.
Yeah, because I would think that that's a very important position, especially when you're
Yeah,
starting your young quarterback
yeah,
for the first time, that they would address, if not in free agency, definitely draft a high prospect that can play that position very well. The fact that they
yeah.
didn't address it just hopefully reassures me that Alex Mack told the Niners, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to be there for the beginning, but you're going to have me at the start of the season. You know that I'm good to go." So,
Right.
Robert Davis, welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get this party started. I should have made this video a little bit short. I was pumped when I made it. 16 minutes sounded like nothing. Yeah, it's 16 minutes sounded like nothing. Let's get back to our conversation. Hold on. I was fired up, man. Everyone, make sure to wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy Niners Sickness. So, J IntheBay, thank you for being part of my show today. It's an honor to have you, man. Always a pleasure to have you. Are you excited? Before we even get started, are you excited about the moves that the Niners have made off season by free agents and the draft?
Absolutely. I'm geeked up. The best news, I would say, within the past 7 days is the guy above me right now, or I should say, right now, Deebo Samuel, he's still on the roster. I think that's the best news, at least for me. I can't speak for all 49er fans, but that's the best news for me. Deebo Samuel is still on the roster. And breaking news, he started following the 49ers today. And I think that's a good sign. I know negotiations were ugly, but I think, maybe both sides are starting to come to an agreement. They're starting to get closer to a number that both parties would like. And I think that would be a great sign. And in the draft, I think the 49ers got a lot of players. They addressed a lot of needs. We know coming into the draft, we wanted to address the offensive line, specifically the interior offensive line. And we also want to address the secondary. We did that. And then the UDFAs, I mean, man, that took it from a 10 to 100 with a few guys that are versatile, a few guys that we anticipated that would be drafted, but they weren't. So there's going to be a lot of competition in training camp. There's going to be up to about 85 to 90 players on the roster, and they're going to obviously have to shrink that down to 53 come the last week of August. But this is great. Iron sharpens iron. There's going to be a lot of competition. I can't wait for it. And every position out there is going to have to be earned. And I think that's what's going to make this team even better. We obviously know we addressed the free agency. We got a bunch of new coaches, new special teams coordinators. So yeah, I can't wait, man. I don't see how the Niners could have done really any better other than number 10. But hey, I think we're in a good spot right now.
Absolutely. So before we get started, brother, let me let all my viewers know how they can reach you. Give us all your platforms on social media. For those, I'm pretty sure they're all pretty much following you, but if they're not, how can they start following you, brother?
Absolutely, man. Feel free. You can follow me, J IntheBay, on YouTube, IG, Twitter, and Facebook. I appreciate all the support. And when you come to my channel, I just talk about everything involving the 49ers, free agency, live streams, breaking news, anything regarding the 49ers. You can come to the J IntheBay YouTube channel and check me out. I appreciate all the support. And thanks for everyone who's tuning in to the stream tonight. And make sure you wipe your feet.
I appreciate that, man. Really, really do. Everybody that's popping in, Ravzilla Chavez Jr., what's up? How you doing? Avatar, how you doing? Welcome to the show. So our first topic of the night, Mr. J IntheBay, is who was the best draft pick of the 9 players the San Francisco 49ers drafted, in your opinion?
Best draft pick, I've got 2 guys. I can give you one on either side of the ball. First, if we go with the wide receiver, 3rd round pick, I would say is Danny Gray. Not only does he fill a need, I think regardless of what happens to Deebo, I think we needed to address the wide receiver position. I think we did that with this pick. I believe he is the fastest wide receiver on the roster right now. And I think he he should fit in well with Trey Lance. Trey Lance likes to throw the ball deep. We saw that in the preseason when he linked up with Trent Sherfield. I think Danny Gray can stretch the defense. He can put pressure on the defense to not only just cover, the first 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. They have to actually cover, 20, 30, 40 yards back because Danny Gray can fly. He can flat out fly. 4.33 40. And I think he's a match made in heaven with Trey Lance, and I think he will strike fear in defenses. This isn't the same offense. This won't be Jimmy G, who either Jimmy G was hesitant to throw the ball down the field or Shanahan wasn't calling up the plays. Whatever it is, I think that'll change with this selection of Danny Gray, and I think he will link up very well with Trey Lance. Now, Danny Gray, he was a JUCO transfer. He played 10 games for SMU. He led the team with 803 receiving yards. And scouts have said he's got the ability to work all three levels of the field. He's got bend and agility, and he has the ability to run not only the deep routes, but he can also run underneath as well. So the biggest question mark, though, Danny Gray, I would say, is his hands. They say he likes to catch the ball with his chest. I think you can correct that, at the pro level. And also, can he block? We all know if you're a receiver in Shanahan's offense, you got to be able to block, and you have to be a willing blocker because we know we love to run the ball. So those are really only my two question marks about Gray, and I think those can be corrected at the pro level, his hands and his blocking ability. But I like that pick on the offensive side of the ball. He's definitely a wide receiver that we needed for this offense. We got Debo. We got the Ayuk show. Got Kittle. And now we got our speed threat. So I think it was a great, great pick. On the defensive side of the ball, you talked about him earlier, and I don't want to put pressure on this young man, but that's what life is all about, right? Pressure. And I think this could be DJ Jones 2.0. We got it, Khalil Davis, 6'1", 301 frame. He's similar to DJ Jones. DJ Jones was also a day 3 pick as well, and he worked his tail off. He made the most out of his opportunity, and he got a long-term extension with Denver. So I like Khalil Davis. In his senior season, he had 17 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 quarterback pressures. He played multiple positions in college and in high school. He's a former quarterback, linebacker, defensive end, and defensive tackle. So he's done it all. And he had an injury. I think that's why he was drafted so late. But I don't think there's pressure for him to really start. Honestly, he's not going to start. Let's be real. You got Armstead, you got Ken Law. There's also Maurice Hurst, Hassan Ridgway, and Kevin Gibbons. So, if he can make the practice squad, that's great. But I think that's great value for a 6th-round pick defensive tackle. And we need someone to eventually replace DJ Jones. And I like the smaller frame defensive tackles because in the trenches, it's all about the leverage. And I think he get great leverage at his frame at 6'1". He'll be able to get under the guards, shoulder pads, and he'll be able to, see the running back and make a move on the ball carrier. So those are my best draft picks: wide receiver Danny Gray and defensive tackle Khalil Davis.
I like it, bro. I really do. I like Gray for the fact that, with Jimmy G, teams were not afraid. Defensive people were not afraid of the deep ball. They would stack 8 in the box and just contest the run. And we were still able to run all over them, teams with 8 in the box. Imagine now with Trey Lance and Danny Gray, who can take the top off a defense and keep a defense honest. Now they're going to have to respect the long ball. And once they do that and they don't stack 8 in a box, this is where our running game's going to get even much better, and our slant receivers is going to play some good football, man. So I'm excited about that. And our defensive tackle, did you say, Khalil? He's coming off a major injury. He doesn't have to be put in right away. He can learn and develop. And if he works out, great. It benefits us. If he doesn't, he was a 6th-round pick. So if you're going to take a chance on a player, that is definitely the round to do so. And I was shocked that he lasted that long. Such a good player. It is what it is. I just want to welcome the Ramilia Sports Report. Welcome, sir. Good guy. Rams fan. loves his team, and hates the Niners, but has respect for us. So I love
The
this guy.
feelings are mutual.
The feelings are mutual. Yeah, yeah. Well, you can't hate a team unless the team has done a lot of things against your team, right?
Right.
So the hate is warranting it. So welcome, everyone. So let's go ahead and switch over to our next topic, brother. Who's the best undrafted free agent signing that the Niners got, in your opinion?
Man, there's a plethora of players to pick from, but I like this player out of Arizona State. He feels a need on the interior of the offensive line. And going into the free agency and draft, that was definitely a position that we wanted to upgrade. We wanted to add some, we wanted to add some new juice to this position. And I think it's Donovan West, the offensive lineman out of ASU, 6'4", 300 pounds. I'm surprised he didn't get
Yeah.
drafted. I mean, this
Yep.
guy was, scheduled to go, or not scheduled, but he was mocked in the mock draft to go third or fourth round. He played guard and center at ASU, and that's definitely a position of need for the 49ers. And I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't say he's going to, if Mac retires, I'm not going to say West is the favorite to start, because honestly, I think they would put Brunskill there because he's got the experience. He's
Oh yeah.
versatile. But I like Donovan West, man. He's a Pac-12 honorable mention when he was in college. PFF had him as a third team offensive guard. He played 21 games at ASU. The scouts are saying that he works well with the outside zone scheme, and that's exactly what the 49ers love to do, run the ball, use that outside zone scheme. And they say he has good foot speed and quickness, and he moves well laterally. So the scouts projecting him to be a zone guard at the NFL level, but I wouldn't be surprised. And so the great thing about picking him up as well is he could possibly push for a guard position this year. If Matt comes back, hey, West can compete for either left or right guard. Well, most likely left guard, because if Matt comes back, if barring injury, I think Brunskill would take that right guard position if Mac comes back. But hell, he can push for that left guard spot. Aaron Banks, you are on notice. I know
Wow.
you were a second round pick last year, but nothing's going to be given to you, sir. It's going to be earned. I'm sure you know that. And he's going to have to fight to win that position because there's a lot of competition. But I think he's going to get every chance to win that left guard spot, basically because he was a second round pick. And he is on the 40. He has a contract with the 49ers for 3 more seasons. So he's going to be given every opportunity, but I think he's definitely going to have to earn it. But that's my best UDFA offensive lineman, Donovan West.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I like Jason Poe as well.
Yeah.
I wanted this kid as drafted as well, and we went up getting him undrafted free agent, which is great. But Donovan West is definitely a need that we're going to have to fulfill eventually. Hopefully, it's not this year. Hopefully that Alex Mack does come back, and like I mentioned earlier, we can develop him underneath him and train West underneath him. So maybe in 2023, he'll be able to take the reins at center. So we'll have to wait and see. And we don't know what's going on with Mac, to be honest with you. But the fact that I understand about the 100,000 and he forfeited it, but the fact that the Niners did not address whether in free agency or in the draft at that position, it just kind of lets me feel that Mac is coming. We just got to be patient, and he'll be on this team. But yeah, I like him. I like Poe as well. Welcome to Colts Chronicles. Welcome, my brother from another mother. God blessings to you, man. Joseph Hayden's in the house. Welcome, sir. We got John in the house. How you doing, John? Says, imagine Jason Poe strictly working at fullback position. Yeah, have you seen those videos of him?
Yeah. That'd be incredible, man.
He
That'd
has
be
some.
incredible, especially on the goal line.
He has some hands on him, bro.
Yeah.
The boy can count. What's up, Roberto Hastings? Welcome. You got every. I love that thing you do, bro. It's very. I love it, man. My wife definitely loves it. She gets a kick out of that. When you
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, she does. Definitely gets a kick out of that. So, I appreciate you answering those. So, going on to our next one. After seeing the reports of what A.J. Brown received from the Eagles, what do you think is fair for one Debo Samuel?
I think what AJ Brown got, I think it was 4 years, 100 mil, 57 mil guaranteed. I think if you look at AJ Brown's career, I think he's been more consistent over a 3 season period over Debo, but Debo's high has been much higher than AJ Brown. I think what would be fair to give Debo, hey, 4 years, 58 mil guaranteed, 101 overall. Like, I think that's what the 49ers should do for Debo. I think that would be fair, and hopefully they can come to a compromise. And I think that would be fair.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people say that Debo Samuel is not your Devontae Adams. He's not these receivers, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me, but I think for the Niners, I can't speak Debo Samuel on any other team, but for the Niners and how the Niners utilize him, I think he is one of those top receivers and should get paid accordingly based on how we use him here in Santa Clara, man. So hopefully he'll get it. He'll get his payday. And listen, the social media is where it's at. People and players are definitely expressing how they feel through social media. The fact that he stopped following the Niners for a period of time and now he started to follow the Niners back. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's not a big deal," but but it is. It actually is a big deal because that shows me and shows all of us that the communication line between him and his agent and the Niners are definitely there. I think the Niners have given him a number that they're going to pay him, and I think Debo and his agent are comfortable with it. I think they're just going to wait for the whole Jimmy. They probably told him, you know what, you got to wait for Jimmy. We got to get Jimmy off the books, but this is what we want to give you. And I think the ballpark is where Debo and his agent are comfortable with. It's just a matter of waiting to get rid of Jimmy so that we can address Debo. And I think that's why Debo's starting to follow the Niners again, because he's going to be a part of the Niners for a very long time. And I'm happy to keep him because I would have been depressed if we would have lost him, brother.
Yeah. Now, as you mentioned, this social media is how players can use their leverage to try to get the best deal that they can get. And at the end of the day, it's all about business. I think Debo was advised by his agent to do certain things because it was kind of like a 360, asking about, a Miami realtor, like, you Debo Samuel, you don't have to go on social media to say, hey, does anyone know a Miami realtor? Like, you don't have to do that, right? Yep. You can tell your agent, hey, find me your best realtor in Miami, hook me. Like, come on, you don't have to do that. So, I think his agent told him to do these things to try to broker the best deal that they can get. And I respect that. That's the way he wants to do it. It is business at the end of the day. But I think both sides will come to a compromise. And I think Debo Samuel will be a 49er for years to come. And I think the latest actions of Debo, like I think he was at a signing in Vegas. And of course, yeah, he's getting money. He's going to do it. But I think that is a small sign. And him following the 49ers, I think we're slowly getting to, an agreement. And, negotiations can get ugly. No one comes to the table with the first offer, their best offer. That's just not how business works. You're going to say, okay. And even George Kittle's agent said it. He said, hey, the first offer was putrid. And that's why it took so long. They had to wait all the way till August to get a deal done. And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with Debo. We'll probably see an extension, in August. I think that's most likely what's going to happen.
Absolutely. And you know what? In fairness, you got to, if you're ever going to negotiate, you got to start low. You never start high. Yeah. You go buy a car and you know what you want to spend and how much you can spend. So you start low and then hopefully you can meet somewhere in the middle. And the Niners have done that with others, with the Kittle and Fred Warner. Now, Fred Warner, there's something about the Niners, how they really truly value their linebackers. So I don't think there was so much of a Fred Warner situation. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the Niners have a good track record. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, there has not been a player, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that has held out during the tender of Shanahan and Lynch, has there?
Robbie Gold.
Oh yeah, well Robbie goes. Robbie, yeah,
He didn't hold out any games, but
no,
he threatened. He threatened. He's like, I want to live in Chicago with my family, and all respect to him. But as soon as the money got to where he wanted, he was like, okay, yeah, I'll play for the Niners still.
but
But
that's a good point. That's a good point. He wanted to go back to Chicago. He didn't want to be here.
right,
Okay, and the
right,
Niners were able to sign him. So to the point is, the Niners do communicate well. They do have a
right,
history of working with the players. So I think that the communication is going well with Debo. It's just a matter of coming to the middle ground with a number that both parties can live with going
right.
forward. And I think they will get that. I think somewhere in late June, early July, the Niners will have that taken care of. At this point, I am not concerned about losing Debo that I was about, a week and a half ago. I was a little
Agreed.
bit more concerned prior to the draft that he might have been gone. Now it's, to me, it's really 95 he's staying, 5% he leaves. So that's a good percentage for me. So I'm with you, man. I think that the A.J. Brown contract kind of put the market, and they have the same agent. So,
Yep, they got the same. And DK Metcalf.
and then he was able to trade AJ, and they were able to trade Hollywood Brown, which both are under the same agent.
Right.
So maybe that got the Niners a little bit going, little fire going underneath them too. Like, whoa, he got two players traded. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to step up our finances, otherwise we may lose him as well. So the fact that out of all the players most talked about was Debo that was going to be traded, and he's still a Niner, and AJ Brown that wasn't talked about, or Hollywood Brown, they both got traded and now are part of other teams and not Debo. So that tells me that the Niners are a team communicating with them. Welcome to the channel, LS. Welcome, sir. Tanisha, how you doing, Tanisha? Welcome to the stream. Go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
What's good?
I love that, man. Welcome. So, yeah, I think that they'll resolve it. Jay, I think they'll take care of this, and come training camp or definitely week one, we're not going to be talking about the whole Debo situation no more, and that we can definitely move on and start
Agreed.
enjoying football. Because this whole offseason with the Debo drama, I don't know about you. I know we're content creators, and I know all this is good for content, for us to have something to talk about. But, man, it went south, and it went south fast. People were saying this, people were saying that. Now they're starting. Now that you notice, this one guy, I forgot his name. He's starting to start rumors about Trey Lance. Did you read that? About
Was
how
that today?
Yeah, how the coaches undervalue or underworth.
Underwhelmed by.
Underwhelmed by Trey. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Really? They cannot find.
They need something to talk about, man. That's what all it is clicks, and it's definitely great for content creators if because that's something that's definitely been talked about. But after the first round of the draft, it's pretty clear the Niners weren't going to trade Debo, and I think he will be a Niner at minimum this season, and hopefully for at least 3 or 4 more seasons. But this was all started by Debo and his camp. I mean, let's be real. If he said nothing about this, no one would have said anything. He could have went behind closed doors and did it, but he chose to put his business out there, and that's what got a lot of people talking. But hopefully there'll be a great ending, and Debo will be wearing number 19 for years to come.
Yeah, Debo needs to stop. I don't know if he's hanging with them. I'm just being funny, but he needs to stop hanging with Terrell Owens, man. We don't need we don't need this drama in San Francisco, man. You remember the days with Terrell Owens, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Working out on a bench in front of his house with the media outside, and he's my quarterback. And oh my goodness, can T.O. bring up a drama show, man? So hopefully this is not a Debo. I know Debo was, I understand that some of it is strategy to try to get the most money because he
Right.
knows he probably can't get it with another team. If he's going to get paid and he's going to get paid well, it would be with this offense and this team. So he's trying to get paid. And you can't, I don't know about you, but you can't blame. I didn't really care the ways he went by doing it, but if you're a player in this world, you got to get paid. You got to take care of your family because the reality is, if you get hurt, the team just cuts you, man. The team just lets you go and they
Right.
move on. So I believe about the emblem. I support the emblem, but in the same token, players need to get paid and taken care of. What's up, Christian? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. Says, which Niner defense did you like? The 2012 defense that led us to the Super Bowl, or the 2019 Niners defense who led us to the Super Bowl as well? I want your opinion and be honest, man. Go ahead, brother.
2012. To me, it's no question. Pat Willis, Bowman, Justin Smith, Alden Smith, Ahmad Brooks. The list goes on. For me, it's not even close. It's the 2012 49ers defense, no doubt.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with you, brother. Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, those guys were insane in the mid as linebackers, and Alden Smith, short career unfortunately, but the guy was a beast, man.
Spectacular.
That guy was a beast. I know people are, I would kind of hold my rein on it. People are saying that Drake Jackson could be a Alden Smith typical type of defender, but I don't know. Alden Smith showed what he can do. Jackson's yet to step on the field, so I would have to see what Jackson can do. But Alden Smith was a beast, and then the Cowboy. You can never go wrong with the Cowboy, man. Justin Smith, great pickup that we got from the Cincinnati Bengals, man. That kid was. I think Alden Smith was able to do what he did because of Justin Smith,
Right.
always taking on two defenders. And Justin Smith had a knack to just hold just right and kind of get away with it.
Right.
So he had a knack for that, man. So that definitely came into play. So there you go, my friend Christian. We both agree 2012 was the better defense, although I'm not unhappy with the defense in 2019. That was pretty good as well, with Defoe and Eric Armstead. But the line, as much as I love Fred Warner, it's just hard to go against a Navarro Bowman and P. Willis, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, this guy was a Pro Bowler from day one and did not stop going until he retired. I mean, I don't think he missed one Pro Bowl, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Every season.
Yeah. So you start doing that, man. You definitely are a good player. So let's move on to our next question, my friend. We got the NFL schedule releases comes May 12th. Which opponent would you like to see the Niners face off week 1 at Levi's?
Well, it's got to be the LA Rams. But unfortunately, since the LA Rams won the Super Bowl, that game would not be played at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. It would be played at Levi South in SoCal. And what would be better than the 49ers to punch the Rams in their mouth and beat them at our second home stadium? And I think there'd be nothing greater than that. They get the trophy, whatever, they get the rings, and then we punch them in the mouth and we beat them in LA. I think that would be great. I would love to play the Rams and have them start the season 0-1. That's who I would pick.
I like that. I definitely like that. I would like to see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 1. Both defenses can stop the run pretty good to see who can move the ball and see the GOAT, the old man versus the young promising prospect in Trey Lance going against him. And honestly, I would love to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers early, much rather than later, because they're a team that warms up as the season goes on. So that would be a team. But the Rams, you can't go wrong with the Rams either. Beat the Rams. I know the Rams beat us in the NFC Championship game, and it is what it is. And they went on to win the Super Bowl. You can't take that away from them. But and I know Mr. Ramilia Sports Report who's watching is not going to agree with me, But the Niners are a better team. Yes, the Rams won the Super Bowl, but if you look at the roster, top to bottom, yes, they have Matthew Stafford at quarterback. They have Aaron Donald, and now they have Bobby Wagner, which to me, it's a great improvement to their linebacking core. But I don't know about you, Jay. He's not the same guy that he was in Seattle. Do you think he still has enough juice to make a difference for the Rams, in your opinion?
I think he's still a pretty good player, especially statistically. I want to say he had 100 plus tackles. Obviously, for Bobby Wagner, that's not a big deal. He does that every year, but I think he's still that guy. But I know he signed a 5 year deal. I don't think he can be that guy for multiple years to come. But the thing with the Rams is they're top heavy. LA is all about the stars. The names, they have them, but I think we have a much better 53-man roster when we see each other. I think for the most part, I think we're better in several other areas, and I'm looking forward to the competition. I can't wait. They're a hell of a team. I think they did get better. They added Allen Robinson, wide receiver. They added Bobby Wags, but I think we just have a more complete team than the LA Rams.
I agree. And Mr. Remedios Sports says, besides Trey Lance, who is the most important player on the offense? I think it's Debo. That's why I'm surprised he's gotten so out of hand with him. It is what it is, but I think the Niners have always kept it under control. I think there's just been some misconceptions here and there with the media. I think the media has blown it out more than they should, because if you remember, a lot of times where things were getting blown out of proportion, you would get Debo comment. He'll make some comments to correct it. He will correct the people that were talking lies about him, and then he will erase his comment. But he would defend himself, saying this is not true. So I don't think it's been as bad as the media has made it out to be. I think that it's not like Debo just hates the Niners and doesn't want to be here. He was drafted. The Niners gave him his first opportunity to be a pro. Players appreciate that. They respect that. And the Niners were the team that believed in him. Well, that's why they drafted him. So there's that loyalty. And I truly believe that John Lynch is a player's GM. He tells you the truth, man. I never perceived him to be one that tells you one thing to your face and talks back differently behind you. He's straightforward. And I think the relationship between the Niners and Debo is good. It's just a matter of coming to a common ground on the financial part. But hey, ain't nothing that a bag of money can't resolve, right?
Right.
If you want a smile on your face, just throw some money at you and things quickly change for the better.
Yep.
So you say the Rams week 1, that'll be fun. I'm just honestly, although typically you're right, it's Levi's South, so it's our home away from home. But I've been tired of always starting on the road.
On the road, yeah.
2 years in a row on the road. I would like to start one for the fans at home, and I hope that
nice.
I hope that game, and we'll get into it a little bit later. I hope that game in Mexico is not an away game. Home game. I hope it's an away game.
I think it's a home game for Arizona.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I want to give the Niners a fan base more chances to go and rep their red and gold. David Minion says Debo will get paid when our Niners do it in July, right before training camp. Fred Warner and George Kittle got paid in July. Typically, George Kittle got paid in August, and that's coming off a Super Bowl season. And we end up standing him in August of 2019, the 2020 offseason, and we took care of him. So the Niners will definitely take care of Debo. I'm not concerned, man. The fact that he did not get moved in the draft, to me, just speaks volumes of how much they truly appreciate this guy and how much they love him on this squad. And honestly, teams were pathetic in offering a garbage trade for him. I mean, I heard the Jets wanted to trade their 10 and then swap picks where they give us a 6 or something, and then we have to give them our second, 61 overall. You're tripping. And
That's
Debo,
ridiculous.
yeah, Niners are like, no, I don't think so. So I'm excited for the schedule on next Thursday. Matter of fact, 7 days from today, we will find out where we play. We know who we play. We're going to find out where and when. Well,
Absolutely.
not necessarily where either, but when. And we're going to find out if we have primetime games. As we already know, we already have one for sure because the game against Arizona will be on Monday Night Football in
Absolutely.
Studio Azteca, Mexico City. So that's going to be fun indeed for our fan bases, both Arizona and 49ers. Christian Carver, welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you. Hayden, Freddie Gerardo's in the house. How you doing, brother? A lot of Niner fans want to play Seattle. They want to
Yeah.
see who was it? Was it Russell Wilson or was it Pete Carroll
It
that
was
had
definitely
the
Russell
number
Wilson.
against the Niners?
It was Russell Wilson.
Yeah, yeah. Unless Pete Carroll puts on a jersey and starts
Right.
throwing, it was definitely Russell Wilson. How many times did we have that guy in the grasp of our hands, and that
Right.
like Houdini, he would escape and throw a 60-yard bomb to lock it. Oh
Yeah.
my God, bro! It's like you have Armstead almost had him, and he escapes, goes rolls to the left, and throws that bomb, and like you got to be kidding me. Lucky for us, we're not going to see that much with Drew. Hopefully, Cole
Yeah.
says I appreciate you, Dick, and cracks me up. Yeah, Dick Tracy, man, you gotta love him. You gotta understand him. He doesn't
He's
like.
consistent.
He's considered. He doesn't like Trey Lance. He's not optimistic as much as I would like him to be, but he
Yeah.
loves his Niners, man. You just gotta. He's a special flavor that you gotta kind of get used to, my boy. Ramirez says, "Nah, we proved it. Rams are better on both sides of the ball. Donald, Floyd, Ramsey, Wagner, Troy Hill, Stafford, Cup, Jefferson, Robinson, Huckabee. Man, lost long-winded. What's your thoughts? I know he's
I
going to
think
say that because he
I
loves the
think
Rams.
Jalen Ramsey. I think he's the obvious better corner player on both teams. But I think you could say Donald and Floyd they cancel out with with Armstead with Bosa, and then we can go 10 deep on our defensive line and linebackers. I think we're better. I think our three linebackers are better than the Rams. Quarterback, yeah, you give it to Stafford. He's put up the numbers. He's a Super Bowl champion. Stafford is better. And I think the wide receivers, you could say they canceled out. Debo had an All Pro year, Cup had an All Pro year, and we have obviously the better tight end. I think there's no question to me.
No question.
But he is right. His guys, so the Rams' best players stayed healthy all last year for the most part, and the Niners we can't say that. So that is true by Familiar Sports Report.
Yeah,
That is true.
and that's a key. They don't have depth in the
Right.
roster. They have key players at key positions, and that is amazing, awesome. And
Right.
one of the things that benefited the Rams, in my opinion, like you said, they were able to stay healthy the whole year, and that benefited them by getting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. But the reality is, if they lose some of those players, they don't have, in my belief, that the proper roster to kind of step up and fill those shoes. And let's remember, he mentioned a lot of players there, but the obvious is they lost two key players on their offense, Jay. Their left tackle
Left tackle.
retired.
Yep.
Their left guard left in free agency.
Mm.
Okay, those two positions it has to get filled. Yes, they have the linemen there, but they're not those two guys that left. We have 10 deep defenders. We have Bosa. If those two linemen cannot protect or do the job as good as the other two, that Matthew Stafford could be a little bit in trouble, not just with us, but with other defenses that have
Yeah.
its pass rush, because that's the blind side of Matthew Stafford. And if once Matthew Stafford starts getting hit, he's going to start hearing footsteps, and it does mess with your psyche when you start feeling pressure. Do you think that the offensive linemen that are replacing these two studs that are no longer there could hold up and protect Stafford, in your opinion?
I couldn't even tell you who replaced them. I would have to look at the Rams depth chart, but I think left. I think the left tackle was the guy from Cincinnati. His name is escaping me, but he had been in the league 15 plus years. He was a pillar at that left tackle spot. But whoever they bring in, will they be better than who he was? I highly doubt it. But I like Nick Bosa against any left tackle in the league, and also they're without Von Miller. He
Yep.
signed a big extension with the Buffalo Bills, so that's a huge loss. But yeah, hey, I'm definitely excited to play the Rams. I think the Rams and the Niners, I think, are the two best teams in the NFC West, and I'm looking forward to the competition, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, you can't argue that. Correct. They are two good teams in the NFC West. They did pick up Allen Robinson, which he's all right. I don't think Chicago utilizing his skill set as good as the Rams will, but losing Robert Woods is, to me, a big factor. That receiver, I know he's coming off an injury, but man, the way he played was awesome. But they do have Cooper Kupp, the MVP of the league. So they still have some powerhouses, and their run game is pretty good. They got a couple of good stable running backs in that stable. So the Rams and Niners are going to be competitive with each other. So I'm excited to play. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? So
Yep.
I'd rather play the Rams at their best than not. So it's going to be fun to watch, definitely, Jay. Let's move on to our next one. What are your thoughts on the San Francisco Niners playing against Arizona Cardinals in Mexico City, Estadio Azteca Stadium?
What could be better for the faithful to watch the 49ers play in Mexico, south of the border of us, on Monday Night Football prime time?
Come
What could be
on.
better? What could be better than that? You play your division rival. Unfortunately, they'll probably have DeAndre Hopkins, after that 6-game PED suspension. But hey, I think we would match up well. We got our corner, Charvarius Ward. We got Emmanuel Mosley. We've added some players in the draft and UDFA, so I think we'll be all right in our secondary. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for that Monday night game in Mexico. And yeah, what could be better? Play in front of the world.
Yeah, especially, like I said, Monday night, prime time in Mexico City, having everybody, just wearing the colors. They're fanatics. I know that a lot of it is soccer, football, but they do love American football. So when I can't wait to see the Niners. And then we have, I believe, a guard, Alejandro Gutierrez. He's in the practice squad, but yet he's a Latino. And I believe the Arizona Cardinals have an active player, also Latino, is representing. So it is an excitement. When I found out we're playing in Mexico City, me being Hispanic background, I love it. I'm gonna try to make that game and watch it there. It's fun. You go back and eat some Mexican food over there. The real Mexican food, not this Americanized version
Not
of it
Taco
here.
Bell.
No, oh my God, Taco Bell. That's not even real food. Forget about Mexican food. That's Taco Bell. If you eat what they put in there, it's not real food.
Not Chipotle, man. Not Chipotle.
No, Chipotle. No, not Chipotle, bro. I've went there one or twice, and I'm like, no, you got to be kidding me. Chipotle, really? I mean, I remember somebody told me, he goes, I remember a friend, real quick, a long, long time ago, a friend of mine, I used to always call him a Heidi, what is it? I can't think of the guy's name. Howdy Doody, I think it was the character with all the freckles. White guy, friend of mine, love the guy. And he's like, hey, we were both single at the time. We were like in our early 20s. He's like, hey, bro, you want to eat some tacos? You want to eat some good tacos? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, he's like, all right, man. I know this place. I'm like, all right, let's go, right? So we went, and we're in his truck, and he's driving, and he's pulling up into a Taco Bell, right? And I'm like, hey, are we picking somebody up? He's like, no, we're going to eat tacos. I go, you're not going to Taco Bell, right? He's like, yeah, bro, he's a taco. I'm like, bro, Bro, come on. I took him to a place in downtown San Jose, a
Mm,
hole in the wall, a house converted to a restaurant with the
mm,
family making the tacos of tripas,
right.
carne asada, sesos, all these,
No
right? And
comparison.
yeah, and the chile, the homemade chile, and he tried it. The guy was probably about 100 and, I don't know, 170 pounds soaking wet.
Mm.
And he ate like 32 tacos.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it, bro, but he's like with chili and he's like eating it and he couldn't have enough.
Yeah.
And to this day, I really don't talk to him as much, but to this day, he is fond of those tacos. I don't think
He
he's ever
never
gone.
went to Taco Bell again after
No,
that.
but I thought that was funny, bro. He was being sincere. That's all he knew.
Right.
That just like my wife's side of the family, my wife's Latina, but her side of the family was raised and born here in the United States. A lot of my family comes from Mexico, so when we got married and we had our first year anniversary, we invited a lot of her family over, and they were tearing up the tacos, right? And my brother was getting mad. My brother's like, "Man, these guys, all they want to do is eat." And then when I told my brother, they never ate tacos like this.
Right.
Their ideal of barbecue are ribs, hamburgers, that hot dogs. Those are the things they like. They never had this tacos. My brother's like, really? So the next thing you know, my brother became a chef and he's giving them tacos. He's making them better because he didn't realize that just because they're Hispanic doesn't mean they knew the Mexican culture because they were
Right.
raised here. And once they got the taste of the homemade chile, I mean, everyone just tore up
Blew
the
their
carne.
mind.
Yeah, the carne asada is what they never really experienced. All they knew was the ground beef. So
Right.
it definitely blew their mind. So in today's day, now they know carne asada. My wife didn't know what carne asada was. She didn't know what nopales were prior to marrying me. So I tell her she married a Mexican guy. So that's what you get. Christian says, who do you like better as tight end, Kittle or Vernon Davis? Ooh, I'll leave that to you, bro.
That's a tough one. If I want a pure receiver, I mean, it's VD to me. Vernon Davis, no doubt. But the better overall tight end blocking, it's Kittle.
Yeah, definitely. I like Vernon also, but if I had to choose, if I had to pick one over the other on a game, I would take Kittle hands down myself because Kittle can not only catch in the backfield, but he's a tremendous blocker. That's why when they always compare Kelsey to Kittle, Kelsey's
Right.
a beast within himself. I'm not taking nothing
Right.
away from Kelsey, but if you're talking about an overall, all-purpose tight end, you can't go against Kittle, man, because the guy can
Right.
block with the best of them. We have come to our hour here on the show, brother. So we're going to start winding down this show. Let's see here. I want to answer a couple questions that I have not answered. Colt says the Niners were 1-2 versus the Rams with Jimmy led team. The Rams had the moment it's over. Niners have always and will be the best in the West. If Trey Lance can step up and be that quarterback that we hope he can be, yeah, the Niners. If I don't think if Ramilia remembers, he probably does because he's not a young man either. I'm not calling you old, but you're not a young puppy. I think you remember those 17 consecutive wins against the Rams back in the 80s, bro. 17 consecutive wins over the Rams. That's hard to do, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
You know how many years? We play twice a year, right? 17 games consecutively. That means for what, over 10 years, they did not beat us?
Right.
So I can understand the hatred from Ramilia for the Niners just based on that. What's up, JR Meadows is in the house. How you doing? Go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
What's good?
I love it.
How you doing, JR?
Joseph. So I'm going to just go through these real quick. Here we go. Eric P., welcome to the show. Go for it, brother.
What's good?
Love
Good,
it.
Eric.
I'm looking for all the ones that have not been here yet. My wife making shrimp street tacos. Ooh. My goodness. But you're a Red Sox fan, bro. So I don't know how good those tacos are gonna be. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you. Tacos Jalisco. I love that. I love it. I love it. Uh, Christian with his questions. I love what Christian says. He says, "So who do you like better?" Okay, we answered that question for you, my brother. Let me answer just a couple more questions, and I'm gonna let this young man go because I kept him long enough, and I don't want his wife to beat me up. So let's wind this down. Remilia says, "If you remember, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year. You won't let us forget that, but thank you. We do remember. Can Akers being out most of the year? Woods out, down, and our third starting tight end. OBJ got hurt before the Super Bowl, and Stafford made up the difference." Now, we can argue about this. We're not going to get into it because we're ending the show, not starting it. But not everything that the Rams did got that win for them. I think the Niners, if the Niners would have did some things differently, if Jimmy would have played a little different, I think the Niners would have won that game against the Rams. So it's not like the Rams blew out the Niners. It's not like they just beat. They won, and I'm not taking that away. You won, and you're Super Bowl champs. It is what it is. That is part of history now. But it's not like you beat us up where we were just totally out and out. So you guys struggled against us, but at the end of the day, you guys have made a little bit more plays than what we did, and you got the W. What are your thoughts on that, Jay, before we call it a night?
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, props to the Rams. They won the Super Bowl. As you said, you can't take that away from them. But I'm looking forward to this season. And, those two seasons are the same. Just because you won last year, it doesn't mean you're automatic bid to get into the playoffs the following year. And it's actually going to be even harder for you guys, for that after that Super Bowl victory. But yay, the Niners, I think we've made a lot of moves in free agency and the draft. And I think our team is loaded with talent, both sides of the ball, new coaching staff. I just can't wait I'm done talking about it. I just want the pads to come on. Let's start hitting. Let's start getting to that active 53-man roster, and I'm ready to go. Rams did what they did in the offseason, and I'm just looking forward to them meeting up. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. Raggy says, I can't pronounce his name. I do love the way it sounds. I heard people pronounce it. Can you pronounce that? Contrez? Knight. If I don't know how good he's going to be, if he's going to be significant or not, but one thing I can say, the dude has a sweet name. Yeah, that's a cool name to have, man. And if he works out, hey, more power to that. Well, guys, we have come to that 1 hour mark. A lot of you guys are in here communicating. Real quick, let's welcome Niner49 to the channel. Go ahead, my brother. I'm waiting for your cue. That was your cue, bro. That was your cue. But welcome, Niner. So anyway, it's been fun. It's always a pleasure to have J IntheBay. I love your personality. I love your persona. I love what you do with your channel. I love how your graphics that you're coming up with when you do your little 2-minute videos. I truly, truly admire you, and truly honorable that you're doing what you're doing for your channel, man. The most important part is that you're having fun. You're having fun in what you're doing, and that's all you can want from our perspective channel. So before we go, let everybody know that we're maybe not here in the beginning of the show, how they can get a hold of you once again, my brother.
Hey, absolutely, man. First and foremost, thank you very much for allowing me to join you on your show tonight, man. You're doing an excellent job. The Niner Sickness Podcast, you have a great following. It was a very lively chat. That's always a great thing to have. I think I saw at least 33 people in here, so that's great, man. Success is great. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to Niner Sickness. But you can find me, J IntheBay, YouTube, IG, Twitter, Facebook, all under the same name, J IntheBay. Feel free to come to my channel if you like. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you can tune in to all things 49ers when you come to the J IntheBay. And I look up to guys like Niner Sickness. I've told you this before. For those that don't know, I was watching Niner Sickness before I started my YouTube channel about 2 years ago. So You are a huge influence on me, Niner Sickness, and a lot of other 49er content creators, man. And you continue to, put out excellent content, positive attitude, and you got a great community that supports you, man. So kudos to you, man. I'm following your lead, man.
I truly, truly appreciate that. Everyone, thank you for stopping in and being part of the show, the Remilia Sports Report. Thank you for coming in and sharing about your Rams. Truly appreciate you, brother. Everyone, I'm not going to start naming names because I always leave a name out. So I'm just going to say thank you to each and every one of you for watching the show. Stay tuned, Jay. I'll be right with you. I'm just going to say bye to everyone. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a show on Saturday at 7 p.m. and we're going to have Colts Chronicles on here, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with him. So tune in on Saturday at 7 p.m. with my boy Chronicles. It will be fun. Jay, once again, brother, football talk will not be the same without you. You are awesome, brother. Truly appreciate you, and it's been an honor to have you on my show today. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, that was Jay. I'll be right with you, Jay. That was Jay in the house. So we're going to go ahead and say good night to everyone. God bless you. Be blessed, and we'll see you on our next podcast.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,